this is D-Doll. This time, let's take a look at General from Street Fighter II Champion Edition. If you've ever faced General as an active player, you know he's a character who really teaches you what unfairness is. Personally, I think people who use General's cheat moves should be given regular chairshot lessons, just like those Guile players with bad personalities. By the way, the reason I call this character, the leader of Shador, General, is because his name changes in each version, and sometimes they even swap names, so I have no choice but to use a nickname. In the Japanese version, he's called Vega, and in the international version, he's called M. Bison. The Spanish ninja and boxers' names keep getting mixed up, so there's nothing I can do about it. So in Korea, their nicknames are General, Skewer, and Chik-Chiki, while overseas they're called Dictator, Claw, and Boxer. That wraps up the brief explanation, so now let's take a look at General. Let's start with General's head press. Note that all of General's commands are charge moves. It's a move where you stomp on your opponent's head. You can use it as a surprise attack, but it doesn't have much meaning for that. Its main role is to nullify your opponent's projectiles. Bison's flying hitbox is unusual, allowing him to ignore projectiles that only slightly touch him. Even when his foot and the Hadouken overlap, he doesn't get hit and flies through just fine. After the first hit, you can change your mid-air trajectory to bait your opponent's anti-air moves. However, since it's a move that's easy to counter when you're flying, it's a technique that makes you hesitate to use it as a surprise attack during a match. That's because you can cut it off with things like a vertical jump or a light kick. If the kick lands, the General can choose where to land, shaking up the opponent's defense. Aside from vulnerability while flying, it's a technique with no real drawbacks. The next technique is the General's trademark, Psycho Crusher. The forward-moving technique is a special move that anyone can use due to its simple command. The hitbox is insane, so it can even be used as an anti-air. What's really interesting is that General's lower body also has an attack hitbox, so it can even catch opponents who are blocking the other way. Of course, it's not his main anti-air move, but as you just saw, since there's an attack hitbox on his feet, he can easily shake up a downed opponent with this move. When you actually face it, it's often hard to tell if it's a normal or a cross-up. If you watch it in slow motion, you can see that it hits from the other side. But even if you block this attack, your opponent can't let their guard down. First of all, when you use Psycho Crusher with heavy attack, both the guard damage and the regular damage are tremendous. There's virtually no difference in damage between a hit and a block. The damage comes through regardless. Tricking your opponent into blocking can actually deal more damage than a successful hit. The current damage is from blocking the heavy Psycho Crusher twice. The heavy version makes the opponent block up to 5 times, while light and medium versions make them block up to 3 times. It's so strong that you can't even understand how it deals this much damage just from blocking. But even if you somehow manage to block it, there's another problem besides just the damage. After the Psycho Crusher ends, during the recovery animation, the General is considered airborne. Additionally, the recovery is incredibly fast, making it even more problematic due to the lack of delay. Even with extensive blocking, the General still has a high probability of landing the first throw. For players accustomed to modern fighting games, this might seem ridiculous. However, remember that this game was released in the early 1990s. Next is the move that turned the General into a loser, the double repress. Distance and speed vary based on light, medium, or heavy usage. This move is even better if it hits, but even if it's blocked, it's a broken move that can turn the game around. Jangun still gets frame advantage even if it's blocked, which is why it's still good when blocked. I'm testing it at various distances, and he runs significantly faster than it appears on camera. Let's watch in slow motion. You can see that Ken only jumps when Jangun is almost at his highest point. You've probably seen Gooky's ridiculous frame advantage before, but Jangun's is even worse. Because when the double repress hits, you can even connect a heavy kick here. If this combo lands, it almost always leads to a stun. The heavy kick is good, but crouching medium punch and medium kick also connect. For reference, you can also connect double repress from a light punch. By combining everything we've learned, you can execute a deadly combo. The stunned opponent gets hit by the combo and gets stunned again. While the boss character is powerful, this seems excessive. Earlier, you saw those insane frames, and by using them, you can pull off some other broken stuff too. Perform a double repress, then repeat crouching medium punch and standing medium kick. But you can't keep doing this against opponents who have invincible moves, and Jang-geun can get a favorable mind game out of it. If you watch it in slow motion, you can see that the guard starts to drop just before the double repress comes in. When the guarding arm drops slightly, at that timing, you can knock them down with something like Seongyong Kwan, but if you use Seongyong Kwan incorrectly, it can cause a huge disaster, so it's hard to use it carelessly. In this way, the opponent can escape from the corner pressure with an invincible move, but the opponent has to consider 3 things: whether to interrupt W mid-move, defend against a throw, or if the opponent will pause briefly as a mind game. If you fall for Jang-geun's mind game and throw out a Shoryuken, the game can blow up at that moment. Top-level players can even jump over fireballs, but I couldn't do it, so I didn't include it in the video. Next, let's check out how strong Jang-geun is in field battles as well. The light kick has a longer reach compared to the light staff attacks of other characters. That doesn't mean its activation speed is slow either. However, the move that's used even more often in field battles than the light kick is the medium kick. It's a bit slower than the light kick, but when you're facing it in a field battle, it'll feel really fast and long. If you're at a distance where a medium kick can't reach, pressure your opponent with a strong kick. In this game, where each strong attack is heavy, having a long reach strong attack is a huge advantage. Usually in field fights, when it looks like the strong attack can't reach, projectiles are often used, and you can create a game of chicken with these projectiles. Of course, the one who throws the projectile will take more damage, since the opponent has to input several commands to throw the projectile. Meanwhile, General maintains pressure with his signature long, strong attacks, which benefit him even if countered. In this way, just by pressuring with basic moves, the opponent will unknowingly get pushed into the corner. And he also causes stun pretty easily. You remember that if you get stunned by General, the game is basically over, right? Taking 2 or 3 heavy kicks in quick succession will stun you immediately. However, Blanca is the sole character unaffected by these powerful basic kicks. Because Blanca is short when crouching, no matter what you do, General's standing kick basics won't hit him. Whether you're close or far, if Blanca is crouching, you can't even make him guard with basic moves. Next is General's unique basic move, the crouching sliding kick. It's a basic move that feels slow when I use it, but looks fast when the opponent uses it. If it's blocked, it's minus 22 frames, so it's a basic move where you just have to take the punishment, but if you use it as a movement tool, it's a different story. It's an ideal basic move for Jang-geun's insane combos, letting you get close to a downed opponent. Because you can close the distance this quickly, Jang-geun's attack comes out before the opponent can recover from stun. Next is Jang-geun's jump kick attack. This basic move frequently leads to reverse guard positions. Regardless of the type of kick, even if you jump in carelessly, the reverse guard will trigger. After landing a jump or strong kick, following up with a crouching zoom punch and standing zoom kick almost always results in another stun. It shows insane performance, creating stuns with just basic moves. Next is the anti-air basic move. He throws a punch while crouching, and it has anti-air capabilities. Even though the motion isn't even an uppercut, it simply counters jump attacks like that. You can think of it as a concept similar to Ralph's crouching C in King of Fighters 98. It's definitely less effective than Ryu or Ken's Shoryuken or Guile's somersault. But isn't this performance level sufficient for a basic move? I'll wrap up this video by clearing the final boss, Central Processing Unit General. I haven't really played General much until now, but while recording this video and playing, I realized just how comfortably General users have been playing the game. Of course, things like instant kill combos or corner pressure combos do require quite a bit of practice, but it's not like they're completely out of reach either. After adjusting to the rhythm like a rhythm game, I quickly got the hang of it. But if you asked me to do this in a match against another person, I don't think I would. Fighting games have rules where you have to defeat your opponent to win, but unless you're entering a tournament to win prize money, I think the essence of games is to enjoy them. If you land just one double repress, it can basically lead to a deadly combo. So this is a character that's fun only for you and likely just makes your opponent angry. I've been hit by it a few times myself, and it just kills the fun of the game for me. That's all. This has been Doll. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.